next, we are moving to the running back position. So, Amin, who stands out to you as far as being, the best rookie running back? Who do you think is going to have the biggest season this year?
Ooh, this is tough. Now my answer is gonna either be Najee Harris or Trey Sermon. Forget about all the other rookie running backs. No, actually, I'm just messing with you. I'm gonna take Travis Etienne, who's gonna have the biggest season.
Ooh, okay.
Now, the reason I'm saying that is Trevor Lawrence is a rookie, and I don't expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to put everything on Trevor Lawrence. And they drafted Travis Etienne for a reason, and I feel like they're gonna use Travis Etienne a little bit more than they're gonna use James Robinson, because James Robinson had a 1,000-yard season last year. So that the fact that they drafted a running back was to team up with Trevor Lawrence, have a guy that he's played with in college, and I think Travis Etienne is gonna take the pressure off Trevor Lawrence, and I think he's gonna rush for 700 yards. That's my prediction. While Trey Sermon, I have nothing against Trey Sermon, but if Raheem Mostert is healthy, he's obviously the healthy starting running back, and they added Wayne Gallman in free agency, so that's another thing. Those two I think are going to be the starters, and Trey Sermon might finish the games at the end, like in the third or fourth quarter. He's going to finish those games, and then Najee Harris, I just don't think Najee Harris is going to do anything special this season. That's just my bold prediction. I'm not really that high on Najee Harris. I see you nodding over there, so real Suneil. I see that nod. I'm just not that high on Najee Harris. Josh Jacobs, homeless. He was also homeless. Same thing like Najee Harris. What did he do last year? He didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything special. He didn't make the Pro Bowl. And also that Steelers offensive line. That Steelers offensive line lost David DeCastro. Who's on that offensive line? Marquise Pouncey retired. Who's on that offensive line? You're not gonna. You automatically, if you don't have a good offensive line, your quarterback's gonna struggle. Big Ben is a 30-year-old quarterback. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's not getting any younger. How do you expect Najee Harris to run behind a bad offensive line? He's not gonna put up crazy numbers behind a bad offensive line. David DeCastro only allowed 2 sacks for you last year, and you got rid of him. Who's on that offensive line that stands out to you that's going to make a Pro Bowl that's special? Najee Harris isn't going to do much in that bad offensive line in Pittsburgh. I just don't see it.
Fair points, but let me tell you why you're wrong. So, first of all, it's kind of funny how you just blazed over. You're like, Jacksonville has this running back by the name of Robinson back there that had a 1,000-yard season. And all of a sudden, they're just going to be like, you know what? Let's not hand the ball off to the only thing that was good on our offense all last season. Let's just use this rookie that we don't know how he's going to perform in the NFL and ignore a 1,000-yard rusher that's still young on his rookie contract. That doesn't make any sense. I think Travis Etienne is going to be extremely good. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to run the ball a lot, but he's not getting a bulk of the carries. He's going to be used in the backfield. I think they're going to use his passing skills a lot, but that ball is going to be handed off to Robinson way more than it's handed off to Etienne. The only way I think Etienne gets enough carries to really put up the type of numbers you're talking about is if Robinson gets injured. But, we're not wishing that on anybody, right? We want everybody to play healthy. But I really feel like Etienne is going to be a good running back, especially a running back / receiver. However, I just don't think he's going to get the type of carries. Sermon, just like you said again, is going to be sharing carries. So not going to be given the total opportunity to really show out what they need. Now, Najee Harris, on the other hand, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in desperate need of a running game. They have beast receivers in that offense. They have obviously Big Ben, who knows how to sling the ball. You are right. Their offensive line has a lot of question marks. However, Najee Harris was their first-round draft pick for a reason, and that reason is to make that running game back to a position that'll give them the opportunity to throw the ball even more if they can. And when you talk about Najee Harris, the pedigree that he comes from Alabama, which is the running back factory that just puts out running back after running back. And even though Jacobs, like you said, had off year last year because of injuries, not because he was playing bad, he had injuries, which is why, he didn't put up the numbers like he did the previous year. Another running back that comes from Alabama is a guy by the name of Derrick Henry. You might have heard of him before. He's
Derrick
like
Henry
the
didn't
best.
do nothing in his first 2 years, man. Derrick Henry didn't do nothing in
Look,
his first 2 years. He
it's
stepped up
all good, but
in
hey,
2020. Then we know who Derrick Henry was.
but I believe Najee Harris is better than all of them. And this is the reason why I think Najee Harris is going to do better than both of these guys. Najee Harris' mentality is different from a lot of people in the NFL. And one of the biggest reasons is he loves the competition. So everything that you're saying about him right now, I mean, he's listening to. He's listening to these guys saying, you know what, he's not going to have to do that well his first year. He doesn't have a good enough offensive line. But the reason why Najee Harris actually went to Alabama, even though he was, one of the highly rated running backs out of California, he could have gone to any school, even a school where he would have started earlier, is he understood at Alabama he would be challenged the most. He would be going up against the best defensive players every single day in practice. He was going to be coached by one of the best coaches in college, and he knew that he was going to become a better player because of that. He comes from, just like you said with Josh Jacobs, he comes from a similar background where he struggled a lot. So everything that he has wasn't given to him, it was earned. And so that type of mentality, going to a team like Pittsburgh, which is a blue-collar team, loves that type of mentality, wants to be a power running game. And Najee Harris he's not a small running back. He's a big running back. So he's going to be able to take on the contact. He's great out of the backfield, great running through the tackles, as well as has really great hands to be a receiver outside, out of the backfield as well. I think he's going to be not only the best rookie running back, I think he's going to put up the type of numbers that makes him a good, like one of the top running backs in the league. He's also one of my fantasy steals. I think that if you could get him, there's a lot of people like you that are going to be down on him, don't think that he could play that well. I think he's going to be one of the top fantasy running backs in the league. So, and I'm usually right. So that's the guy.
The thing about Najee Harris, I have no problem with Najee Harris, right? I don't think he's gonna be a 1,000-yard rusher season. I don't think he's gonna have that 1,000-yard rushings. No, I don't think so, right? But because he has a bad offensive line. Now, the reason I say ETN is that, James Robinson had a 1,000-yard season. So did Josh Jacobs his first season. But then, Josh, why do you think James Robinson fell to the 6th or 7th round? Because he had an injury history in college. Yeah, that's why he fell to the 6th or 7th round. Not because he was a bad player, just because of those injuries, so he fell to the 6th and 7th round. So that's why same thing could happen in the NFL. What happened with Nick Bosa? We thought Nick Bosa was going to have 10-plus sacks last year. He got injured. Same thing could happen to James Robinson, and Travis Etienne will get the most carries, and I could see him put up 100 yards plus.
So you're hoping for injuries to get your boy the type of year that he was. Okay, I see how it is.
But I can see it happening. Okay.
All right. We'll agree to disagree. We'll see how the year plays out and see if you're right or I am right. But I think most of the fans know who's right.